Well, good evening, and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me this evening on Talk and Sleep Saturday night, 14th of the 6th, 2025, June. And want to just welcome persons who are joining me on Instagram, those on TikTok. Hello, neighbor, Celia, Lottie, Lisa Grace. Um, and also for those joining me on YouTube. Tonight is Talk and Sip, as we say. Talk and Sip Saturday night, but of course we blend with different topics as well. The topic tonight is Jamaica yet again trending. Jamaica yet again trending. Of course, Jamaica is always trending everywhere, no matter what. Jamaica is always trending. And also, is it time for new players on the political field? Is it time for new players on the political field? We're seeing with the advent of the general election, which is on its way pending, all the best in all the time, sometime in September. But when you see it and you see what is happening, sometimes you wonder to yourself and said, if another political party comes in with the same amount of what should I say, the same figures, or have that same complement of win or seats as the Labour Party, will they also find themselves in the same position whereby they will go ahead and make decisions likewise? We're seeing things happening with the Auditor General. We're seeing things happening with the Dennis Chung factor. We're seeing things happening with the government or the Prime Minister trying to take out illicit enrichment out of the Integrities Act. We're seeing different things as much as possible. And I always wonder about the need for new players on the market, new players on the field. And the new players on the field do not have to have 20 seats, 30 seats, 100 seats or to win. But what they can do, they can be a key kingmaker. They can be a player on the field that can be a kingmaker. And I wonder about that. And I'd like for you to consider that as we have a discussion tonight. And to be joined by, from Jamaica, I'll be joined by Mr. Antwayne Campbell, who is from the Marcus Garvey Party. I'm also going to join by Hujae from the Diplomatic Democratic Party. Because while you got the JLP and the PNP, who are the main players, but I like to give an opportunity for others, for new kids on the block, for new players on the block. You know? This is Saturday night, Talk and Sip, and the question I'm asking you is, what are you drinking today? What are you drinking, ladies and gentlemen? What are you drinking? Well, I'm just going to have some water, and the water got some lemon inside of it, but also I made some little mix up with some guava and some ginger and some banana, a bit of strawberry, but it's diluted a lot with water at the same time, so it is not that sweet. And so it is nothing, it is juices. I'm going to use the word juice because TikTok finds these words a bit funny and they will try to penalize you for saying things. So it is juices, just juices. You know? And also, I just want to say that this, on the 20th of June, you're going to have Victoria Mutual. Victoria Mutual is going to have their financial forum in Catford. Stronger Roots, Greater Returns Financial Forum. Stronger Roots, Greater Returns Financial Forum. And that's going to be having at the Lewisham Town Hall Centre 6:30 to 9 p.m. And that's going to be a very interesting event. It's going to have Mr. Courtney Campbell, who is the CEO and president. And he's going to have different things like what is in it for you? What is in it for you as a Jamaican in the diaspora? Clear steps to turn your UK income into Jamaican assets. Real world success stories from Jamaicans who already did it. So they're going to have some best case stories. Straight answers on property savings and stock opportunities at home. A network of like-minded professionals ready to share ideas. and how will you secure your family's future back in Jamaica. And you can register to at this event. And to register to this event, all you got to do is to I put the contact here is to there it is. Contact VM Group, telephone 0207 738 6799, and Miss Donna.Brown at myvmgroup.com. Donna.Brown at myvmgroup.com. Telephone number 0207 738 6799. If you want to watch the show and to see the different guests in, it's advisable if you come over onto the YouTube channel, which is Silver TV. That's very helpful. Silver TV. If you're on Instagram, the Instagram tend to always and will shut down after the show, so it doesn't stay. So it is good for you to come over there as well. Come on to the YouTube, like and share, and I'm going to start to say this as much as possible. Like and share, and tap up the screen on TikTok. Like and share, tell everyone about it, and to get the subscriptions up as much as possible. And that would be great. That would be appreciated, and that would be great wonders. Another thing I just wanted to talk about is Professor Jeff Palmer. Professor Jeff Palmer passed away, and don't know if people know Professor Jeff Palmer. Let me show his image right here. Professor Jeff Palmer, he passed away recently. Let me just see, where is it? Image. If I can find this image right here. See, like there's some part here on it. There it is. Ouch, battery's going down. Yeah. Just 1 second here for a moment. Yes, Professor Jeff Palmer, who passed away, and Professor Jeff Palmer was a stalwart Jamaican in the UK, very stalwart Jamaican, and served this country, served Jamaica as well. Professor Jeff Palmer is Sir Godfrey Oliver Palmer, widely known as Jeff Palmer, was a pioneering Jamaican British scientist, academic, and human activist. He was born in St. Elizabeth, Jamaica on April 9, 1940. Palmer spent his early childhood in Jamaica, raised by his aunts, after his mother immigrated to the UK in 1948. He began his career as a junior laboratory technician at Queen Elizabeth College, London, and while studying part-time at the Polytech in 1961. A human rights public service, was a tireless advocate for equality, education, and social justice, campaigned for better opportunities. He received numerous accolades, including an OB in 2003 for his contribution to gain science, and a knighthood in 2014 for services to charity, human rights, and science. In 2023, he was recognized as a pioneering member of the Windrush generation with a portrait commissioned by King Charles III for the Royal Collection. In March 2024, he was appointed a Knight of the most ancient and most noble order of the Thistle KT, Scotland's highest chivalric order. Sir Jeff Davies' children and grandchildren. He was diagnosed with prostate cancer late and passed away on June 11, 2025, at the age of 85. Palmer is remembered as a scientific innovator, a courageous voice for justice and inequality, and an inspiration to generations of students and colleagues. May Sir Jeff Palmer rest in peace. It was a privilege to know him, and every time I see him, he always remembers me as much as possible. And of course, if you notice what he died of, or what they say, prostate cancer. And I believe there's a walk in prostate cancer as well. So all I can do is also encouragement. Tomorrow's Father's Day, encouragement to do your test and to check out yourself as well. I did mine, and I just keep checking up ourselves each time in regards to prostate cancer. Affect Black men a lot. So yes, so beautiful. So yeah, so that's my drink here. Everybody, what are you drinking? Tell me what you're drinking, and tell me how was your day as well. Now, let me get straight into it, and I talk on this particular topic, but I have something that I want to say. But let's just start the show. Let's start the show. Yeah. Is it time for new players on the political field? That's a big question, isn't it? Is it time for new players on the political field? All right. And Jamaica is at a crossroad. We all know that. And sometimes people say, as the show is always talking about Jamaica, but the show will always talk about thing which is very important, because Jamaica is a straight catalyst in the world at this point. Is it time for new players on the political field in Jamaica? As the nation approaches the 2025 general election, the rivalry between the JLP and the People's National Party (PNP) once again dominates the headlines. These parties have shaped Jamaica's political destiny. But with persistent issues like economic inequality, youth unemployment, and public frustration over governance, many are questioning whether the traditional options still offer the solutions Jamaica needs. The emergence of minor parties and independent voices, through often stifled by limited resources and the entrenched two-party system, signals a yearning among some voters for fresh perspectives and a break from the status quo. The election cycle in particular is marked by a growing segment of young voters and calls from influential figures for greater accountability, unity, and a new Jamaica built on different values. Yet despite these aspirations, the electoral landscape remains tightly controlled by the JLP and the PNP, with smaller parties struggling to gain traction on the current regulation. As Jamaica prepare to cast ballots, the central question lingers: is it time to open the field to new players who might better reflect the hopes and challenges of a changing society? Or will the familiar face continue to define the nation's path forward? There's a party which is called the UIC, United Independent Congress. And there's also the Marcus Garvey Party. There's also the Diplomatic Party as well. And maybe chances are there are others, the Diplomatic Democratic Party. And I always say that if these parties, I'm going to say these parties can actually work together strategically, they can make a serious dent. Just need 5 or 6 or 7 seats, and they can be a kingmaker. When you have the the so-called, I don't know, sometimes you have a situation whereby you wonder if gangrene has somewhat infiltrated the minds of the politicians of the day at times. You do wonder. You do wonder if these are senile persons, or are they sane persons, or we are senile. I never forget one time I was with a law firm, and I was as a student at that time. I was doing some outdoor clerking, and I went to represent or to take some notes or to check on a lady who was mentally, you know, challenged, and she was in this institution. And upon listening to the lady, she sounded like she made much sense. She made so much sense that at one point you started to think that maybe you are actually not of a good mindset. Maybe you're more mentally challenged than her. So therefore, sometimes you got to ask yourself this question. When I hear key persons, I won't mention names. I won't mention names of anyone saying different things. You do wonder if they're on the same planet. But I strongly believe that this is a time. This is a time for new players in the field. New players in the field, you know, not just JLP, not just PNP. But what do you say? New players on the field, new time? Because I believe that there's an awakening. Because at the last, I did a video with Mr. Matunda McCullough, and it's on TikTok and it's on Instagram. And we were talking about the 63%. I'd said 67 by error in the video. We're talking about the 63% of persons who did not vote at the last election in 2020. 63% on the electoral list. On the electoral list was 1.92 million. 1.92 million on the electoral list. 37% came out and voted. Yeah? 37% came out and voted. But guess what? 63% didn't. Now, what are these 63% waiting for? What is it that they want? Are they not happy with the JLP? Are they not happy with the PNP? Or are they wanting to see something else? Are they? Are they wanting to see something else? Well, there are other things out there. There are other parties out there. And I want to somehow use the opportunity to give voices for others as well. I'm going to see if I can get in Mr. Now Jay. Hey, how you doing, sir?
Greatest, Mr. Serial. Big up to your audience today.
Big up Hujae. Action Now JA, Vice President of the Diplomatic Democratic Party. I saw your videos, a couple of videos that you posted. I saw a press release of recent days, and I heard the last press release, and I said, can you come on and just speak into these things? Because I strongly believe, Hujae, that third parties, independent parties, somehow can make a big difference. Maybe the people are waiting for you guys. That's 67, that's 63% who normally don't go out. Maybe they are looking for something else. Yeah. Tell us about the diplomatic Democratic Party. What is it that people should be expecting or seeing?
All right, so for the Diplomatic Democratic Party, it is a party that currently has some conscious Jamaicans, who believe in the 7 principles of good governance, right? We know about the integrity, the accountability, the transparency, all of these tenets of good governance. The good thing is that all of the members of the Diplomatic Democratic Party, they are aligned and they champion these principles. And I'm really grateful for that. You understand? Because the current governmental system or political system, they do everything. They do everything to undermine the principles of good governance. You understand? So we cannot replicate the same thing. We have to come different. And I agree with you in saying that the people are awaiting us. The people are awaiting the independent. They are awaiting the third parties. They are awaiting us. But we're having challenges because there's something called egotism. You know, some people don't want to compromise because they believe that they have invested too much in something, so they really don't want to compromise their stance. And that is really one of the challenge we face as third parties. We still haven't see the need or saw the need to unite the
Yeah.
UIC, the Marcus Garvey's People Political Party, the NDM, the Diplomatic Democratic Party. We are out there. But when we say unity, it is something like it is far fetched. But again, we can't really watch those things. Those who want to unite, we just have to unite with them, right, and move forward.
Yes.
But yes, the people are really awaiting us, and in due time, we might miss this parliamentary election this year. We might miss it, right? I am thinking of getting in the process. I'm thinking about it. I'm kind of
Yes.
up on the fence of putting my name on the ballot, right? I'm thinking about it, but
Yeah.
definitely the next parliamentary election after this one, Action Now JA is in full swing.
Why are you having like questions about putting your name on the ballot in this particular election?
All right. In my neck of the woods, I come from the West Rural St. Andrew constituency, and
Mm.
last night I happened to be at the Jamaica Labour Party conference, a rally that was held at the Stone Hill Art Trust NTA. I was heading home and I saw the whole heap of crowd and the mass heading up that side. And I say, let me walk and see what is happening up there. Lo and behold,
Yeah.
lo and behold, I saw that it was a political rally. The member of parliament was
Yeah.
there, the prime minister was there, right? And other government ministers were there. And I stood and I listened, right, to what was said for about half an hour, right?
Mm.
But again, I'm still not hearing the manifesto of the member of parliament. I'm not hearing of her accomplishments. I'm not hearing of the things that she have in the pipeline. I'm not hearing these things. I'm still hearing the brouhaha, the political pleasantries. I'm not hearing
Sound
the
bites.
objectives. You understand? And then I look on the other side and I'm saying Joan Gardner Webley is the PNP member of parliament candidate. And I'm still not seeing her active enough in the constituency. So I'm saying to myself, instead of sitting at my house on the morning of election, might as well go put my name on the ballot and go vote for myself. You
Mm.
understand? Because it's not hard to do. And we as a people need to understand that it's not hard to put your name on the ballot to represent yourself. It is not hard. If
Mm.
there's nothing to vote for, create something to vote for. You
The only,
understand?
the only thing that anybody might lose, if anything, is a deposit or so, isn't it? For you to,
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. And I mean, we waste
Okay.
money enough time. I do all sort of things. So not
Mm.
if we lose to really represent the people. Because I did it in the local government election and I got a few votes and I'm grateful, right?
Yes.
And that's just it.
Mm.
That's just it. Right?
No,
We did get back. We did get back. I did manage to get back some of my votes.
deposit.
The money that I had,
Um,
right?
think we lost. We're having a challenging moment there, Hujae. Hujae, we're having a challenging moment. We're having a challenging moment with Hujae presently. Maybe it's a Wi-Fi issue which is happening in Jamaica. You wanna. Hi, Darren. Do you want to go out and come back, Hujae? Do you want to go out and come back? Hello. Okay, he's gonna come back. He's gonna come back. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm on my YouTube channel. I'm having a discussion with Mr. Where is it? Let me see if he's back. No, the thing is. Yeah. I was speaking to Mr. Hujae Ra from the Diplomatic Democratic Party. The title of the discussion tonight is it time for new players on the political field in Jamaica? Is it time for persons to really step up to the plate and to put their mouth where their money is? And Hujae, he was saying that he may not stand, but I'm asking him why he's not standing, because it seemed like people somehow are looking for other voices or other representation they can actually go to. Let me see. Okay, you're back. Sorry, we had some challenges there earlier.
Yeah, I was getting a call. That's why.
Okay, right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah. So you're saying that you're not seeing the manifesto or the representation in the area by the alternative, the PNP lady, Miss Webley.
Both of them. I'm not seeing. So I'm not seeing the third term manifesto for Juliet, and I've not seen the first term manifesto of Joanne.
Yes.
Right. So I'm not seeing the manifesto. You understand? And it is just fear that we are given the manifesto so that we see what their intentions are, and ultimately we can hold them accountable if things are not done properly. So you understand? It's just that's just all the way we're gonna have to do it going forward. Let me see what you say that you're gonna do. Is it feasible? Let us scrutinize it. Let us change what needs changing and so on and so forth, and see how best we can improve the lives of the people. Right? But if we don't get the manifesto, then what can we use to hold them accountable? Nothing at all.
Do you see a separation from the government side, or the Prime Minister and the Labour Party and the members of Parliament? I mean to say, the members of Parliament, they are supposed to be there working within their constituents for JLP and PNP and every other piece. Do you believe that they are just following the master's touch from the head office, from the government side, PNP side or JLP side, but they are not actually have a separate thing for on the ground?
I don't think I understand the question clearly. Rephrase it.
I think I went around the world a while ago. Do you think that they're not having something created for the community, for their constituency?
That's correct. I don't see the manifestos. When I listen to all of these various rallies and campaigns, it's just it's just an historical walk. What this party have done, what this party have done, right? And we don't hear what is happening now or what will happen in the future. Understand? It's just, a historic walk. And some of the time they are speaking so general you can't even follow to see what their objectives are. You understand? These are the kind of things that they speak about in their rallies. Because again, I come from West Rural St. Andrew, and I'm going to put up another post because again, I need to know, because I am going to be voting. I'm going to be voting, no doubt about that. but I need information. So I'm gonna be doing my investigation to find out from my constituency what are some of the achievements of the current member of parliament. I know a few. I know of a few, but I need the holistic information to see if it would be then, you know, sensible to extend to her a third term, right?
Yeah.
And likewise for Joanne Godwebley, that has been also maybe traveling in other division of the constituency, to find out from the people on the PMP side what are the talks that are happening from Joanne Godwebley, because she has not come into my area as yet. Understand? But
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a case where she have gone into other areas. So I'm
Yes.
seeking information because again I need to know so that I can make an informed decision on that day. But I will not be voting because of color politics.
Mm,
Me not vote because of curry goat and handout politics. Those days are done.
mm, mm,
I'm voting based on accomplishments and manifestos.
mm.
That's the thing
Oh,
there.
so you're not. You, did you vote before based on curry goat?
I don't think I have, but I'm just saying I'm just saying generally. I've never.
Because I was running a joke the other day to say that somebody was saying $5,000, and I said there must be an increase now. It can't be still $5,000. $5,000 been there for so long. It can't be five
Yeah,
thousand.
yeah. Everything I increase. So why we still stuck at 5 grand?
There are two things you spoke on recently out there, Uche. And you had a press release which was done, and you also spoke on something regarding, where is it? Yeah.
JA, greetings to my followers, greetings to Jamaicans, and Jamaicans also in the diaspora. Big up on yourself. One love, one peace, one art. So, I don't want anybody to see the Prime Minister picture in the background and think that this is an attack on the Jamaica Labour Party, because it is not an attack. I just want to put some things into context. They are asking us to do something, and they want to know what grounds should we do it. Right. But before I get started, I want to ask the Jamaican people. Let's say you're Jamaican, if you're African living in Jamaica, whatever name you give to yourself, whatever title you give to yourself, but you occupy your
Tell us what you're saying there. In this.
Okay.
Mm,
So again, for those of us who don't know, the Jamaica Labour Party is campaigning on the slogan "Choose Jamaica,"
mm,
right? And I am saying to myself, choosing Jamaica, it has to be more deeper than that. Because in choosing, they're saying we must choose Jamaica, meaning we must choose the Jamaica Labour Party. But the Jamaica Labour Party has been in government for 9 years now, going 10 years, right?
mm,
And we have the head of the head of the government undergoing investigation for illicit enrichment, and he is still promoting himself to be on the ballot box. You
mm,
understand? That should never be what we are choosing. A, 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 a prime minister that is questionable regarding
mm,
in his office, right? Also, other government member of parliaments who are also being investigated. Although we don't know who they are, but the prime
yeah.
minister and his crew is asking us to choose the Jamaica Labour Party. You
Mm,
understand? Again, the education, the state of the education system, Mr. Sidial. The other day when I read the Gleaner published an article the other day, I don't know if you have gotten the chance to read it, right? There's a nice school down on the boulevard. I'm not gonna call the name of the school, even though it's in the Gleaner, right? Grade 7, 70% of the grade 7 students there cannot read at the grade 3 level. 70% of the seventh graders cannot read at the grade 3. We're talking about grade 3 primary school level. And again, Andrew and this team is saying to us that we should choose the Jamaica Labour Party. Look at healthcare. I know you might have seen the videos and the pictures of babies, newborn babies, laying down on chairs. People in the hospital laying down on the ground, on the floor, on the cold concrete. The Cornwall Regional Hospital has yet to be completed, and it has gone over the budget. But we should choose Jamaica. We should choose the Jamaica Labour Party. You see the paradox?
When they say choose Jamaica, are they linking Jamaica with the JLP? Is that what they mean by that? When they say choose Jamaica?
But I mean, if they are telling, if their slogan is for us to choose Jamaica, and that is their slogan, indirectly they are telling the Jamaican people to choose them because that's their slogan. You understand? But their slogan is even vague because again, Jamaica doesn't necessarily mean the people, you know. Jamaica doesn't necessarily mean the people. You understand? So their slogan is vague. But I'm just unmasking certain things, and I'm just saying they're saying choose Jamaica, but indirectly are telling us to choose them. But on what grounds? What are the grounds we should choose the Labour Party? To get the same of what we are getting now? The cost of living so high, the dollar gone over $160 now. But the economy is doing well, and all of these platitudes that they are spewing out, and all of them so-called economic benefits and so on and so forth. But
you said something the other day in one of your videos. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you so much for joining. Those on TikTok, thank you, Carl Bartley, David, and Nikki, and Abu. Thank you so much. Thanks for liking. And those on Instagram and TikTok, you said something the other day. I'm not coming on social media and TikTok to chat because peer talkers are around. That's what you said to me. So you're an action man. Your action now, JA. I'm going to go back to something which we said earlier. Do you think it is prudent for you to put yourself forward to run irrespective of what? If you're not happy, or are you saying once you see the manifestos of the both parties, then you'll decide, and then you realize, hey, listen, I've got to put myself forward?
Yes, so if I see it, all right, so my greatest desire is to see the manifestos, because then we can really scrutinize and make recommendations. You understand? Because every community don't have the same struggle, right? As well as we might have the same struggle. But I want to see the manifestos. And if I don't see the manifestos, then I will have to put myself in charge of myself. You understand? So the manifesto is very important because, again, it at least gives us insight as to what the next 5 years will look like. But without that insight or that foresight, then we're really walking in the darkness.
Well, remember what the Prime Minister said. The Prime Minister said he's not into manifestos, he's into prospectus. Or prospectus set out what you have done already. But that's what he said in Parliament.
Nah. What you have done in the past cannot guarantee that you'll do anything any better in the future. We need foresight. We need foresight as well. Not just, understand, not just looking behind, but we need foresight. We need to know where we're going. Everything. If you're building a house, Mr. Sidial, don't you have a plan?
You gotta have a plan for this, what you want to see.
Exactly. So we need to see the plan. We need to see it.
Yeah. I was thinking the other day, and I was listening to somebody setting out all the different key factors. One can't speak of the PNP because the PNP is not in power. People will go back and say, what about FinSAC? What about Traffic Bureau? And the God, I said, listen, I hear all of that. Let's talk about the present situation. there's a list of different things that people, I believe that, I don't know if people actually look at this area of governance in serious respect, Uche. The whole thing regarding the Auditor General of recent days, all of a sudden, after that position has been there from youngs, all of a sudden, we want to get rid of the Auditor General. The Prime Minister at some point had said as well, they want to take out illicit enrichment out of the Integrity Commission or something like that. The act. The whole thing about everything. Dennis Chung in a position whereby he's not qualified for, and then people would say, well, Dennis Chung work with the PNP. Dennis Chung work. I said, no, that's not the issue. The issue is not about where him work. Dennis Chung is a nice guy. Dennis Chung has come on my show already. He's a lovely guy. But the point of the situation is that based on his utterances in the past, he doesn't fit for purpose in that position. Plus, he's not qualified in the sense of investigating
law enforcement.
I'm just saying that it's either people are just saying, we're not saying nothing until election time, because people don't really say much after a while. It's like 1 day, 2 days, and people just quiet. Or they're just saying, wait till election time. What do you think it is? What do you think? What are people saying?
Well, I believe that some persons really know what they're going to do on election day. They might wait for election. They not really say nothing, but they know what they're going to do on the day there. You see me? They know what they're going to do on the day there. While others are talking, right? But regarding the Auditor General and so on and so forth, I got some information the other day because somebody was saying to me that the reason why, because I did the video on it.
Actually, someone on TikTok just said a while ago, we voting for the government who is working. I don't understand that. We voting for the government who is working. There's only one government, isn't it?
Exactly.
So, Prom, you're saying we're voting for the government who is working. So I guess what you're saying is, I don't know what you're saying right there. You only can't vote for the government who is the government. They always say you can vote out the government, but you get the government in. You vote out the government, you get the government in.
Right?
Yeah. You're saying, yeah.
But regarding the Auditor General, because I asked the question, what are the positive political implications of separating the Auditor General from the Integrity Commission, and what are the negative political implications? And somebody said to me that the Integrity Commission is not being audited because the Auditor General is a part of it.
Yes.
So I'm looking at that and I'm saying, okay, then that would be a challenge. But I'm going to look further into that because I would not expect that should be happening for the Integrity Commission to not be audited because the Auditor General is a part of it. So it may look like conflict of interest. That is the only sensible positive political implication that somebody has brought to me thus far, right? But on the other hand, me looking at the proposal made by Everall Warmington and supported by Mr. Chuck,
yes,
I believe that they are doing that to really shade the Jamaican people or block the Jamaican people from really seeing the activities, the financial activities of politicians. I believe that is really the motive to not have the Auditor General getting the information and publishing the reports and all of these things are blocked, right?
So
they are trying to cover their tracks.
So what you're implying there is they're trying to block the underbelly from coming up, from bubbling up, because it is very concerning regarding what Mr. Chuck said some time ago when they are part of the Integrity Commission, and I'm going to read the 7 codes of conduct. A part of it said that your families are also a part of the whole process. So therefore, if a member of parliament or some politician who is utilizing taxpayers' money and somehow them families start to look a particular way,
Mm-hmm.
filthy rich and all. So that's what the Integrity Commission want to actually see where the money come from. And Mr. Chuck said, I think he said he doesn't want that bit. They shouldn't do that. I think he had advised
Yeah, he
his
advises,
colleagues not to
yeah, to not share any
disclose
information.
on certain
Yeah,
things. I'm very concerning, I must say.
yeah. And again, and you see, because we are not really serious about good
You okay,
governance,
okay
Mr.
there, yeah?
CDL.
Okay.
You're
Yes,
still there?
sorry?
Yeah. I'm saying because we are not
Yeah, I'm right here.
serious.
I'm right here.
Okay. I was saying because we are not serious about good governance, we are not really calling for the resignation of Delroy Chuck. Because for a Minister of Justice
Mm,
to speak in this manner, it is reckless, and it is really, it sends the bad signal to people who really know about politics and good governance. If Delroy Chuck was the Minister of
mm,
Justice in other jurisdiction, he couldn't
mm.
have been allowed to retain his office by saying a statement like that. He would have to step aside, right? But here in Jamaica, we allow our politicians and our member of parliaments or ministers to say all sort of things, and it's like but against son.
Yeah.
It no have no implication, it no have no remorse, no accountability, no there.
In the ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me on TikTok. TikTok is getting a bit busy right there. Thank you so much for joining us. In the 7 principles of the Integrity Code of Conduct, the standards in public life, 7 principles which have been signed up by the People's National Party, not signed up by the JLP members, by the Prime Minister. The bit about the family bit, I'm going to read it. Integrity number 2. Holders of public office must
Let's give me
avoid
a key.
placing. Sorry, you okay? Yeah,
Oh, no, sorry, go ahead.
yeah, that's right. Yeah. Holders of public office must avoid placing themselves under any obligation to people or organizations that might try inappropriately to influence them in their work. They should not act or take decisions in order to gain financial or other material benefit for themselves, their family, or their friends. They must declare and resolve any interest and relationship. So that's where the family bit comes in. That's where the family bit comes in, financial or other. And this is not saying that any and all the persons who are being investigated for illicit enrichment, no one is actually saying that they are guilty, but it's a process of transparency and accountability, which is very important. But I do wonder if Jamaicans, our people in Jamaica, see that as something worth making noise over. Let's leave that to them people there. That now fill my belly. You know, you know, you know. Uh, somebody said name it. I was said before it was a okay. I don't understand that yet. Yeah, go on. You're saying Uche, yeah. Mm.
Yeah, man. So I mean, I think the political system is so damaged, Mr. Sidial, that some
Mm.
people really don't really business with these things. They
Yes.
don't business with the bureaucracy of things right now. You understand?
Mm.
Because the system is so damaged that they have already made up their mind to not participate in the process. You understand?
Yes.
And we have to we have done ourselves such a great injustice to allow our political system to come to this, where majority of
Mm.
our people living here refuse to participate in a very important process. We're talking about a process of selecting the
Mm.
government to govern the affairs of the country. It's a very important process. It's a very
Mm.
important event, but yet
Mm.
still our people have refused because they have received so much so many harm than good from this process. You understand? And Mark Golding is going to have to do a lot. Parliamentary election might, because we not fully make up my mind yet, right? But in terms of winning and securing
Winning and securing. Sorry.
the seat of
Hello.
West Rural St. Andrew, that will not happen this year for
Yes.
me. But the next, yeah, I'm saying I
Yes.
might participate in this year's election. I have not made up my mind fully yet, right? But in terms of winning, I know that winning may not happen for me this year or this time. But from doing my work now, because I'm doing a lot of community work, and that is where I'm at right now. I'm trying my very best to unite the communities in my area so that we can self-govern. If our parliamentarians fail to give us the life that we need, we will have to unite and create that life that we need.
Yes.
And that's so really the right
Yes.
now.
See,
If the member of parliament want to support us, if the member of parliament want to support us in our endeavors, she's welcome. But we must spearhead the initiative to develop our communities. We as the people of the communities, we as the residents, the grassroots people, we must spearhead our own community development. We
yeah.
seek support of others in terms of
Yes.
MP, but we must not sit down and rely on them. And if they choose not to do something, then we are stuck, stagnant. No, we must spearhead the initiatives and seek the support of the member of parliament. That is the route.
Yeah. In the UK recently, there was elections, council elections, which took place, and
Mm-hmm.
whenever you have a move against a political party, and you have a move against a conservative at present, emanating from the last election, and at the same time you had very good councillors, and even in general elections, you had very good MPs who lose because of the tide against a particular party, where people will ignore the fact that Michael Brown or whatever is doing a bloody good job in that area. Michael Brown is doing some fantastic thing in that area, but because the move is against a particular party, people just sweep them out. And so when we're talking about, like, in Jamaica now, MPs, persons who are performing, it do people recognize and understand that you're not going to be directly voting for a prime minister, but you're voting for your MP. What is that MP doing? How is that MP bettering the life of their constituents? Do they engage with the left and the right? And when I say left and the right, the orange and the green. Or when it comes on to election, everybody just vote a particular way. Vote a green and vote a orange. And that is why I brought you on, and that's why I said the different political parties in Jamaica need to get a challenge from independents. Hujae just went a while ago. The political parties in Jamaica need a challenge from independents. We have seen where the independent or the new political parties in the UK, like the Reform, created a massive movement. And the movement is getting stronger each day. Even though right now they're saying Nigel Farage will never be prime minister. But based on how things are happening, anything can be possible in the next 4 or 5 years. He has taken a page out of Donald Trump's book, which is campaigning, and permanently campaigning. I see where people are saying that Mark Golding will never be prime minister. I remember when people said Barack Obama will never be prime minister. Sorry, will never be president. That's what many people say. Barack Obama will never be president. But he has been president. He was president twice. You know? You know? I was just saying a while ago, actually now, JA, because someone just said a
Mm-hmm.
while ago, Mark Golding will never be prime minister. I just reminded them that Barack Obama would never be the president. And I also and I go further by saying Donald Trump would never be president. Remember Tom Hanks and those guys? The guy said Donald Trump will never ever be president until the heaven come down. Will never ever be president.
Oh my God.
In politics, anything can happen. You know, and
Mm.
sometimes I was watching. This is a joke. This is not a PNP or a JLP joke. This is just a joke for people who are saying third term loading. I was on my computer the other day and I saw the thing loading, and the thing was spinning, 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 and it was loading. It never loaded. Actually, no. The thing was just loading. It never loaded.
You know say that joke. Oh. Yeah, man. So yeah, third term loading, but it no load.
It never load. It was just third term loading or something. But listen, before we go further.
What?
Ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow night, be tuning tomorrow night at 8 p.m. 8 p.m. I'm going to be having a very interesting discussion with Mr.
The internet is fighting against me.
Internet fighting against it. Let's talk artificial intelligence. What you need to know and what you don't. Tomorrow night, Sunday the 15th of June at 8 p.m. GMT UK time. And I'm going to also be joined by my co-host, Albin with O'Neill Cross from the States. We're going to have a intense discussion on artificial intelligence tomorrow night. It's on the YouTube channel. You need to tune into that tomorrow night. You must tune in tomorrow night. And of course, TikTok will be open as well. But yeah, tomorrow night, artificial intelligence with Michael, Mr. Ramsey. Yes, Uche. What you said? Your internet. Sorry, you say internet giving you a problem.
Yeah, not home, I'm not at home, so I'm having challenges with internet where I'm at. But the next time I will definitely be at home to have this good conversation. But the thing is, again, the election must be called this year because the parliament will dissolve September 15th. It will dissolve September 15th, right?
Wait, September 15th. September 15th.
An end.
Did you say September 15th? Okay. All right. Well, listen, Uche, you're having some you're having some challenges. You're having some challenges.
September 15th, because Parliament it will dissolve. Yeah.
You're having some challenges. Yes, I'm hearing you. But if you're having some challenges, it's up to you if you want to stay. It's up to you. You okay? Yeah.
Yeah, man, no problem.
You okay? You okay to stay? I must ask you then.
Sure, I can.
I'm in your hands. Yes. Greetings, everyone. Yeah. So we were talking back about the different issues. The third parties now. I was talking about the third party in the UK, not the third party, but one of the independents that just really recently rose to a great prominence, which is Nigel Farage, Reform Party. Third parties and fourth parties. UK was deemed a country which is just between Conservative and the Labour Party. The UK is considered to be what they say a conservative country. Jamaica, they say, sometimes is a PNP country. But what we have seen with what is happening now, the UK is nobody's country. Not a JLP, not a conservative, and neither, what should I say, Labour. No one can say that they have that fully control anymore to a certain extent because it's all over the place. And I believe that if the third parties are so pulled together strategically, get 3, 4, 5 seats, 6, 7 seats, they can be a kingmaker. You know what I'm trying to say? Uche, I think you're challenged. Uche, I think your Wi-Fi has been challenging. Uche, should I let you go? You're not coming through. Yeah. Hujae, I'm going to let you go, yeah? Yes? I'm going to let you go, yeah. It's a movement. It's a movement. So yeah. So yes. So anyway, the discussion as we just had that discussion, we're talking about the whole aspect of yeah, he's gone. It's not happening there. Anyway, I think I reached to the gist of it. The whole thing about time for new players on the political field. Yes. Interesting there on I was trying to work out what was some of these discussions on TikTok. I got a few bits of it there. Um, uh, I don't know. There's a Sidney Blake who wanted to speak, but I want to make sure that it is within the same tone or within the same zone, not someone taking the conversation away to somewhere else. I like to just read over. I like reading this because this is so crucial and this is so important. The code of conduct. This is so important and so crucial, ladies and gentlemen. The code of conduct, which is the seven, yeah, the seven principles in public life. 7 principles in public life. I think this is something that every single Jamaican needs to know. I think this is something that every single Jamaican need to hold their parliamentarian, hold their MPs, hold their councillor, hold every elected representative to. Challenging them. Challenging them. I believe governance, integrity is so crucial. I think it is bigger than a highway. I think it is bigger than what they call development, because one can just hide under the big developments and all those sort of things. But the integrity, the code of conduct, that is so crucial. And I like to just emphasize on it so much. People always hear me talk about it, but I always will talk about it. To get into the mindset of individuals, get into the mindset of persons. And, like and share, tap up the screen, as much as possible. Remember to share. And if we go for the first one now, this is the first one, ladies and gentlemen. This is the first one. And it's awesome. Selflessness. Selflessness. Holders of public office. Didn't say MP, you know. Didn't say MP. It says public office. So it's not only for MPs or councillors. Public office should act solely in terms of the public interest. Holders of public office should act solely in the terms of public interest. And this is a big one now. Integrity. Holders of public office must avoid placing themselves under any obligation to people or organization that might try inappropriately to influence them in their work. They should not act or take decisions in order to gain financial or other material benefits for themselves, their family, or their friends. They must declare and resolve any interest and relationship. Yes? So what we did first, we did 2, selflessness and integrity. Thanks for those joining me over there on Instagram as well. Thanks for those, yeah? Hi, Kim. How are you, Kim Snow? Third one. Let's go through it very slowly. Get into the mindset. Objectivity, yeah? Holders of public office must act and take decisions impartially, fairly, and on merit, using the best evidence and without discrimination or bias. This is not something which was dragged up 2 days ago or 3 days ago. This is something which is a part of the infrastructure of the Nolan principles of public life. and leaders should be held up to that standard. I personally believe, this is my personal view, that anyone who is being investigated for illicit enrichment, anyone who is being investigated for corruption, anyone under the cloud when it comes on to financial impropriety should not be putting themselves forward for public office until the air is clear, until there is no gray area, until they receive the clean bill of health. What do you say, ladies and gentlemen? Do you agree with me or do you agree not? Mark you, didn't say they were guilty. It's an allegation, but there's an investigation. Because what's the sense of putting someone back into office and then they're on waboom? They are caught up and they are guilty. No way. Accountability. Right? Accountability. Thank you. Holders of public office are accountable to the public for their decisions and actions and must submit themselves to the scrutiny necessary to ensure this. Accountability. So we have done selflessness, integrity, objectivity, and accountability. Sometimes we've got to keep things very simple. Keep it very simple. Holders of public office should act and take decisions in an open and transparent manner. Information should not be withheld from the public unless there are clear and lawful reasons for so doing. I personally believe that the 8 persons should be named. And I tell you why I think they should be named. This is why I believe they should be named. When prospective parliamentary candidates, persons who are not MPs, knock on your door and they say, I'm going to represent you, I want to represent you, lend me your vote for 5 years. I will do this, I'll do that, A, B, C, D, Ogwash, Bullford, whatever, I'll do this. Publicly, they came to you and they say they're going to do it. If there's a situation and they're caught with their pants down or caught with their hand in the pantry or so like that, then I believe they should come back to the people. They should knock on the door and they said, listen, publicly I came to you and this is what has happened. I believe that I need to let you know, clear the air, that I've been accused of this, but I'm going to fight it. And it wasn't so. I think these persons need to be communicating to the public again. The same people who voted for them. Yeah? Yeah? Why you don't Sidney Blake, 39, why don't you add me? Why should I add you? I'm not on TikTok. I'm on YouTube. YouTube is what I'm on. TikTok is just an overflow. And I'm not on TikTok. If you want to go onto YouTube, that's different. And why should I add you? If I don't know the person really, I don't want to go off into some sort of tangent or something like that. I'm not sure you're like, I'm not saying you are this, but I'm not into JLP and PNP battering. I'm not really good at that. So, with all due respect, I'm just on the YouTube. The TikTok is just an overflow. But if you tell me what is it that you want and what you want to talk, why I should add you. So, accountability. Holders of public office are accountable to the public. Openness now. Holders of public office should act and take decisions in an open and transparent manner. Information should not be withheld from the public unless there are clear and lawful reasons for so doing. I think, as I said, tell the people, share with the people, be transparent with the people, be accountable to the people. Integrity, 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 integrity. And that is something which is so profound. Honesty. Now, who is honest? Not many of us are honest, but honesty is a part of it as well. Honesty is Holders of public office should be truthful. Holders of public office should be truthful. So we have done 6 so far. Selflessness, integrity, objectivity, accountability, openness, and honesty. And the final one is leadership. Leadership is so crucial. Leadership is so important. Holders of public office should exhibit these principles in their own behavior. They should actively promote and robustly support the principles and be willing to challenge poor behavior wherever it occurs. I repeat, holders of public office should exhibit these principles in their own behavior, actively promote and robustly support the principles and be willing to challenge poor behavior wherever it occurs. So I appeal to the 63%, as Mr. Matunda the other day, we're talking, the 63% of Jamaicans who are eligible to vote, who are on the electoral list. When you come out and vote, you vote on those principles, right? Therefore, if the person is a JLP or PNP, move beyond the PNP and the JLP and look at those principles. Look at their life. Yeah? Sidney Blake, do I have to know you? I have to know who you are because I'm on a show. And this is not like a TikTok thing. Are you going to have a go with me, boss? You know? Then you can go onto the YouTube channel, go onto the YouTube channel, Silburn TV, and I'll send you the link to come in on that show. The TikTok is just an overflow. And I must say this also. Never let social media control you. Never feel like you have to respond to someone. Never feel that someone have a control over you. So the way you're talking to me now, I'm like saying, I don't have to do nothing. You know what I mean, brethren? So let's not go down that route about that. I ask you a question simply. I said, what is it that you want to talk about? Simple. And let me just say this. I'm on the social media a lot. I've been on this thing for a while. I've been on this thing for a while. And one of the things that I've learned, and one time somebody said, Silver, because you're in public life, you need to respond. You need to. And I said, I do not need to do anything. People, I must say this, you must not feel obligated that you have to respond to people when they come on to you on social media. You don't know who they are. You do not have to put yourself into that space. You don't have to put yourself where you feel uncomfortable. Sometimes you got to go with your gut feelings. And so, I know your face from Brixton. Yes, Rick Ross. No, see, I guess you know me. That's where I got baptized. I got baptized in Lambert Road, New Testament Church of God, in Brixton. Yeah, Rick Ross. Yeah, that's where I got baptized by Pastor Fisher many years ago. When I 93 or 95 when I came to this country. I grew up in Church of God of Prophecy. So you see Sydney, like all that Rick Ross says, knows me or blah blah blah. You know what I mean? So it's I know you well. Rick Ross, blessings. So yeah, so I just had wanted to just digress and just drop that point there. But yes, so going back to this whole thing, I believe the onus and the responsibility is upon the citizens. Okay, Sydney, I'm going to, when I finish off, I promise you this, when I finish off the show here of YouTube, I'm going to come on to TikTok and then, so we can talk on TikTok. All right. So no disrespect. I'll do that. Just give me about 5 minutes to wrap up on this because I'm on the YouTube. Yeah. It is so important and very, very important. Very, very important that persons really hold the prospective parliamentary candidates, because whenever that election is called, you know what's going to happen? All hell is going to break loose. They're going to call it the mother of all elections. The mother of all elections, you know? But anyway, something happened in the UK, I must say. And while I'm in the UK, I just finish off with the Jamaica bit now for a second. I just saw breaking news that Keir Starmer is now going to have a national inquiry into the grooming gangs. If you guys remember, for those in the UK, there's lots of grooming also. They didn't want to have a national, and the Conservative Party and Reform, and even Elon Musk, and those guys were talking about that there need to be a national inquiry as to the grooming gang. And finally, Keir Starmer has made a U-turn and now said there's going to be, has made a U-turn, and now they're going to have an inquiry, a national inquiry. There's also another U-turn as well. Think about the pressure of politics changes things. And, you know, when things change, you know, for argument's sake, when the elderly folks, the fuel duty, the fuel allowance was removed, and Labour is trying to justify it as much as possible. They have made a U-turn, and they are now handing it back. Question is, should they be penalized, or should they be applauded for the fact that they listened and they change things? It is like the whole thing now with the what do you call it? The grooming gang and the national inquiry. Should they be penalized for changing their mind, or they should be applauded? That's the challenging thing about politics. Because people say, oh, they change their mind, they know what they're doing. But they change their mind because they listened and they took public pressure as well. You know? And you know, by the time we wake up, you know, anything may happen. Iran launches new wave of missiles at Israel. Israel Air Force strikes targeting terror. You know, UK sending more RF jets to Middle East. Israelites survey damaging city by Iranian missiles. You know, police, you know, name suspect in shooting of a democratic state in politics. So you see, it's not just Jamaica, it's a worldwide thing which is happening. Crisis upon crisis. Yeah. PM announces national inquiry into grooming gangs. There's so much happening, ladies and gentlemen, you know. But I'm just not going to stay too long. It's a movement. Well, listen, guys, I want to say thank you so much for joining, and thanks for Hujae for coming on. I didn't get Antwayne Campbell from the Marcus Garvey party. Who was supposed to come on, didn't get to see him, no problem. But I think I got the message across, which is we've got to ensure that we challenge our prospective parliamentary again and hold the fire to them as much as possible. Yeah. And and tomorrow night, please tune in at 8 p.m. UK time. Of course, if you can hear clearly, you can hear, but if you can join in on the YouTube, which is Silburn TV, SYLBOURNE TV, Silburn TV, and you know, and you can tune in on that. Where's my thing? You tune in on that tomorrow with Michael, Mr. Ramsey, who's going to come on tomorrow night, and also with O'Neill Cross, talking about artificial intelligence. Sidney Blake 39. Hey, Uncle Sidney, where is it? It's something I'm trying to find. I can't seem to find it. Here it is. I found my earpiece. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna wrap up, and then I'm gonna go on to TikTok. Thank you those who are joining me on Instagram, join on Facebook, sign off, and we move over onto the other side.